Spencer Lewis back with you again, another edition of Inside Track TV, taking a look at the week ahead in short track racing in this great country of ours. Now, to kick things off, our main event of the weekend coming at you Friday night. It'll be the 2011 Kawartha Speedway season opener, featuring, of course, the Oscar Super Late Models in their second event of 2011. Now, Barrie, Ontario driver and three-time defending champion Glenn Watson will look to follow up on his victory at Sunset Speedway a couple of weeks ago as he heads into Kawartha Speedway, a track he's traditionally done very well at. Now, don't shortchange the Kawartha Speedway home track divisions, as there will be no repeat champion, with Chris Morrow deciding to run only at Sunset in 2011. That means that the Buckhorn Bullet, Dave Morgan, Old School Dan McCaddy, or Action Larry Jackson, among others, could walk out with the 2011 crown. Another driver making his return to the late model ranks for the first time in a number of seasons is 2010 Sunset Speedway Thundercar driver Kyle Donaldson. Now, Donaldson will be equipped with a 2011 left-hander chassis that he will debut for the first time at Kawartha. Now, Donaldson has not logged any practice laps as of press time, so it will be interesting to see what he can do at the track where he's gone to victory lane numerous times before. Now, also on Friday night up in Barrie Speedway, they will hold a makeup event for last Saturday's rain-out with the limited late models, Thundercars, and Pure Stock 4s all on the card. Details on their event will be on their website, www.barriespeedway.com. The NASCAR Canadian Tire Series will be back in action for the second time in as many weeks in Mirabel, Quebec, at the Circuit I-Car for the series' first ever event at the Quebec Road Course. Indy 500 pole sitter Alex Tagliani has already confirmed his attendance, as well as former champion Andrew Ranger, who will make his return to the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series after a victory in the ARCA Racing Series a few weeks back. Now, the event will be the first of 5 road course races and should draw a number of competitors from the road racing world. Keep an eye, as it very well could be one of the most entertaining races of the weekend. Back to the short tracks, Flamborough Speedway will welcome the Canadian Vintage Modified Tour as well as the Ontario Pro Challenge Series for a night of action, in addition to their home track Thundercar and Mini Stock divisions. Now, in the Canadian Vintage Modified ranks, Jason Keane, the 2010 champion, will look for his second victory of 2011 after an impressive showing at Sunset Speedway on the long weekend. In the Ontario Pro Challenge Series ranks, Kyle Batty will look to follow up on his breakout victory at Varney Motor Speedway last Saturday night. 2 of those drivers, some of the best young talent in Ontario today. The ACT Casual Tour will look to roll into St. Eustache, Quebec this Saturday night after a disappointing rainout at Montmagny last Saturday. Current points leader Patrick Lepearl went to victory lane at the spring race in 2010 and finished runner-up at the ACT Tour event in July at St. Eustache. So keep an eye on the Quebec driver as he heads in to one of his favorite tracks. Out in Riverglade, New Brunswick, the Parts for Trucks Pro Stock Tour will stage its second event of 2011 at the Petty International Raceway. Now, John Fleming will put his points lead up for grabs in the event, round 2 of the 2011 schedule. South of the border, the ACT Tour will be up in Maine at Oxford Plains Speedway. Brian Hoare, the current points leader, has enjoyed 2 wins in 3 starts so far in 2011 and is definitely the favorite heading into the Oxford Plains event. Now, Eddie McDonald won the spring race as well as the Oxford 250 in 2010, and should he decide to show up for the event, could be one to keep an eye on. Now, expect healthy car counts, as teams will be there to dial in their rides and take notes for the Oxford 250 coming up in July. The CRA JEGS All-Star Tour will also be in action, with Stayner, Ontario teenager Brandon Watson foregoing the Oscar event at Kawartha on Friday to compete at Anderson Speedway. Cole Powell and Jake Ott will also be in attendance for round 3 of the JEGS All-Star Tour's 2011 schedule. For all of us here at Inside Track Motorsport News, thank you very much for joining us for another edition of Inside Track TV. I'm Spencer Lewis, and we'll see you at the racetrack.